Ever noticed most clinic owners rarely complain about not having enough patients? The real headache starts after the visit with piles of notes, follow-ups, and admin work. Today, we're diving into whether AI clinical documentation can actually fix that mess or just add more tech to ignore.
That's spot on. Thanks for having me, Emma. I'm Sanjeev, CEO of Biz4Group LLC. Documentation issues seem small but ripple out, affecting everything in a clinic's daily flow.
We're going to break down why documentation is such a pain, how AI can help, what real-world clinics see, and maybe most important, how to avoid turning automation into extra work. Stick around as we get practical, not just theoretical. Let's get specific. If I'm running a clinic, where am I really losing money or efficiency because of documentation headaches?
Most losses come from wasted time and preventable errors. Doctors spend hours updating notes, which means fewer patients seen. Incomplete or late documentation also messes with billing and compliance, so it's a lot more than paperwork. It hits revenue and day-to-day operations.
So it's not just a time saver, it actually shapes how the clinic runs. That's a bigger deal than I thought.
Definitely. Throughput, accuracy, and smooth workflow all hinge on solid documentation. It's the backbone for everything that happens after a patient leaves.
Here's where I get skeptical. So many tools promise to automate documentation, but doctors still wind up cleaning up messy output. How does Biz4Group avoid that trap in real clinics?
If software just transcribes, doctors spend as much time editing as before. We focus on context structuring notes to fit clinical workflow, so they're genuinely usable, not just readable. That's the difference between a tool that helps and one that frustrates.
Makes sense. It's not just about capturing data, but making sure it's organized in a way doctors actually want to use.
Exactly. If it doesn't mesh with established routines, nobody sticks with it. Practical adoption comes from aligning tech with real habits. End quote.
Let's get to the part clinic owners really care about: ROI. Not exact numbers, but where does the impact actually show up?
Efficiency is the first win. Doctors handle more patients or cut down burnout. Cleaner documentation means fewer billing hiccups and less compliance stress. The payoff is better revenue flow and steadier operations.
That resonates. It sounds like you're talking about both financial and emotional gains. Less frustration, more stability.
Exactly, Emma. When doctors aren't bogged down by paperwork, everything else, productivity, morale, even patient care, gets a lift.
But mistakes in healthcare aren't minor. How does Biz4Group make sure automation doesn't create more risk, especially for compliance?
We never pitch our system as fully autonomous. Doctors always review and approve final notes. Plus, our AI flags uncertainties instead of glossing over them so errors stand out, not get buried. Better to be cautious than fast in healthcare documentation.
That's crucial because a confident but wrong system could do real harm. Highlighting doubts rather than hiding them is an important safety net.
Absolutely. Being careful with automation prevents silent errors and gives doctors control.
Clinics are busy and resistant to change. How do you make sure AI documentation doesn't just become another unused tool?
We start by mapping current workflows. Every clinic is different. Then we integrate into that process, not force a new one. Gradual rollout helps doctors adapt without feeling overwhelmed. Adoption is everything. If nobody uses the system, there's no value.
So you don't just drop the tech in and expect instant change? That sounds like the difference between success and failure.
Exactly. Forcing change rarely works. Adapting to real habits is key.
Where does this go wrong, even when the plan looks solid?
It goes wrong when expectations are too high. If someone thinks there'll be zero manual effort, disappointment is inevitable. Also, without standardized documentation processes, the system can't deliver consistent results. It needs structure to perform well.
Can you share how you decide a clinic just isn't the right fit for this?
If patient volume is low or documentation isn't a bottleneck, the impact will be minimal. And if the team isn't open to changing their workflow, even a little adoption stalls. No adoption, no ROI.
What happens if clinics don't implement any system like this?
Doctors keep trading prime time for paperwork. That limits growth, and small inefficiencies, delays, errors, redos add up silently over time.
Let's bring it home with a real scenario. What changed when a clinic put this system in place?
We worked with a clinic where doctors spent long hours finishing notes after their shifts. It drained morale and productivity. With our structured system, after-hours documentation dropped. notes were more consistent, and doctors could focus on patients during the day.
That's huge, because burnout is a real threat in healthcare.
Exactly. When you ease that burden, productivity, patient care, and job satisfaction all see an uptick.
Let's wrap up. First, documentation is the hidden bottleneck for many clinics, not patient volume. Second, real AI solutions only work if they fit into doctor workflows and highlight uncertainties. Third, adoption is everything. Gradual integration wins over quick fixes.
If you're a clinic owner and your team spends more time documenting than interacting with patients, it's time to rethink your process. A practical step: audit how much time your staff spends on documentation this week. See if it's holding your clinic back.
Thanks, Sanjeev, for breaking this down. We'll be back soon with another topic. Thanks for listening.